My name is Jay.
And I'm Vani.
We got married in a very different way that nowadays we don't hear about it, which is called an arranged marriage.
Our parents introduced us 2 weeks after we were already engaged. And 1 week after that, he took the plane, came back to England while I was back home. And we started to kind of like write letters to each other, trying to get to know each other. And a few months after that, I think nearly like a year after, he came back to get married with me. But when we got married and then we came back to the UK, that's when the real life started to kick in and we started to face back reality. We were two strangers, we didn't know each other, and we had lots of differences. I had my personal issues and he had his personal issues. I remember you were facing depression, you were trying to get out of depression, and myself, I had so many complexes. Unhappy, very unhappy person. And it just like everything would end up in frustration, more frustration, more frustration, and it would build up. And we were not liking each other that much. And if you're not liking someone, now the love part was going to be very difficult as well. There
was a false concept that is in our mind that that when we would get married, probably you were thinking like that. I was thinking like that. When we get married, things will change, and even my personal issues, my personal problem, complexes, frustration, my own frustration will be changed. When you get married, you will be automatically happy. It is not like that. It is a real false concept. I wanted to solve my problem that I was going through, the depression especially, which was affecting me, making me unhappy. It was very good at the same time that we heard about help for couples.
The turning point was when we realized, look, we've got a problem in our marriage. Us just letting it be is not going to solve it, so we needed help. We took part in events for couples.
It was very, very encouraging because, you know, that's what we needed.
This year, in September, we just celebrated 17 years of our marriage, and we are very happy together, isn't it?
We are very happy, and I mean, many times in my mind, I had the thought of that would not work. It can't work, or it would not work. Many times that thought has come to my mind. I was very surprised and shocked that the love was developing, and I was so happy. And that is why we are here today.
Yeah,
that is why we are in the Wembley Arena.
Yeah.
And we're going to learn more today. Yeah. I'm telling you, we are going to learn more, and we're going to enjoy it as everybody will be enjoying it. Yeah. So I must say, I'm very thankful towards you as well, being patient. It's not easy. It was not easy. But out of it, we made something long-lasting. I thank you so much.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's Finding Answers. Remember when boy met girl? Boy liked girl? Boy asked girl out on a date. Those were the good old times, weren't they? Right? There weren't any problems as we see today. But when it comes to dating, today, technology is involved. You've got things like social media, Twitter, Facebook, texts, mobile phones, and various other things where people talk to one another. And along with this modern technology comes various problems. And we see it in the media time and time again, where we have people who are unfortunately raped or abused online, verbally or physically, because of this modern technology. So tonight's topic is, has dating the old-fashioned way died out? That's the question we're posing tonight. With me, I have Victoria, who's going to be talking or has information on this subject. Hi, Victoria.
Hiya.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
So, what do you say on this topic then? I mean, I'm sure you can agree with me that things have changed a lot.
Things certainly have changed an awful lot. Nowadays, you can find out about a potential partner through Facebook. You can find out about their age, their friendship circle, where they went to school, what they're doing for a living, what they do on a Friday night, all their photos, ex-girlfriends. You can research the whole lot before you've even been on a first date with this person. So whether or not that's a good thing is the question, but you can really research people before you meet them.
And remember, all this information that you just said, in the old days, right, not so long ago, you would ask that information maybe on the second or third date. Everything is there on a page for you. Now that's a lot to take in. That's a lot of information to know about someone. It's like you know that person in a matter of seconds. All their information, where they are, what they're doing, who their friends are. So what can you hold back? No wonder there are people who actually have one-night stands, they have sex with that person, whether it's online, I don't know if it's called online sex.
You can sext.
Sext, right,
There you go.
exactly. So, you know, you can get into bed with someone, if I can say that, without getting into bed with someone. Be intimate with that person with the amount of information that is everywhere about us on the internet. So, has modern technology ruined dating? That's the question we're posing tonight. What are the contact details for people who would like to email us?
So if you'd like to send us an email, the address is help@findinganswers.tv. Or if you'd like to talk to somebody about any of the topics that we're talking about this evening or anything at all, then give us a call. The number is 020 7686 6300.
Okay, good. So let's show you a quick video on tonight's topic.
It's been suggested that rather than having dinner or watching a movie, most people dating now instead exchange phone texts, Facebook posts and instant messages. Traditional courtship, such as picking up the phone and asking someone on a date, required courage, strategic planning and a considerable amount of ego. But not so much with texting, email or Twitter. People who now meet online are able to research each other before the first date, which may make the first date unnecessary because it creates a false sense of intimacy. Dating before the internet was clearly more of a natural process. You were introduced to potential partners through a friend. You met someone at work, or you simply approached someone to show your interest. The internet came along and completely revolutionized the way we see the world, creating new possibilities. When online dating was introduced, it changed the dating scene completely. People were no longer leaving love down to chance, but instead they were actively going out of their way to look for it. Nowadays, using the excuse "I was too busy to call" or "I didn't get time to reply to your message" is nearly impossible because everyone can see you've been actively updating your Twitter and checking in on Facebook. So because communication is so fast and easy now, it may have removed the thrill of the chase and maybe killed romance somewhat. However, some people argue that technology isn't killing courtship, but for many young couples, it's redefining what romance looks like. It's worth remembering that online dating and communication through modern technology may only be one tiny part of a much larger, deeper, and face-to-face long-term relationship. And dating is not a thing of the past for those people who refuse to put up with anything less. Maybe use your mobile phone to confirm a date, or just to say good morning. But don't forget about true face-to-face romance. After all, that's what we're looking for, isn't it? This year's Love School is graduating to the next level of understanding how to hold on to a relationship. But maybe you've been asking, can the Love School really be for you? Let's find out. I'm single and loving it. Is it for me? Yes, it is for you. You're single now, but it's unlikely that you're going to remain single forever. The Love School will teach how to be the ideal partner for whoever you do end up dating. Also, how to choose the right person and what to expect when you do finally meet someone you're interested in.
A lot of people have adopted this attitude because of so many hardships they've been through in previous relationships. So many times they've had their hearts broken, that they've said, it's enough. I've decided I'm gonna make my life by myself. I don't want anybody. Who are the singles and happy of today tend to be the singles and unhappy and lonely of tomorrow. All because they have given up on the idea of real love, of true love.
Come along for a Sunday afternoon of entertainment and new ideas at the SSE Arena in Wembley on the 28th of September at 2 p.m. No matter what your love status, the Love School really is for you. Tickets are on sale now and seats are selling fast. Pick up yours at your local UCKG branch. Call us on 020 7686 6050 or visit us online at theloveschoolevent.com.
Welcome back to Finding Answers. Now, you saw the video before the break on tonight's topic. And I was just thinking, Victoria, that, you know, there are people that start a relationship through text or whatever it is, but they also can end relationships with a text message. That's the thing now, right?
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, boy meets girl and says, look, I'm sorry, it's over. Probably get a slap in the face, but then that's it. But nowadays, it's like through a text, and then there's all this revenge stuff going on online, and it opens up a whole new ball game of things.
Yeah, it can get very nasty, I'm sure. But also, other than just a straight text finishing things, sometimes, and quite often I assume, it's when the texts just stop.
Right.
So if you don't get a text back, then you have to think, oh, that's the end.
As a woman, has that happened to you in this day and age, in dating, or not?
No, it hasn't. No, but I've got friends who have been dumped via text, and it's just, there's nowhere to go with it because you just get one sentence and then the person who sent it turns their phone off. So you try to phone them back and you get nothing, and it's quite devastating actually.
And then did they eventually get into contact with them, or is it like their numbers changed?
No, then they just have revenge on Facebook and it's horrible.
Yeah. So there goes. That's how dating is today in this day and age. So I don't know if you've been a victim of that. If your information is online and you're getting lots of people, I know you get the emails, right? The junk mails saying, I'm interested in you, but do you get those friends requests on Facebook, for example? And they're genuine people that want to get to know you. And you're like, who's this random person, right? And it's getting annoying. Maybe you are out looking for love and you are adding people or requesting them to like you so that you can start dating online. if you like information or help with this, and you say, look, I don't want to be like this. You know, I want to do things the old-fashioned way, whereas having things at my fingertips in my bedroom where I can be the whole night, you know, talking to people. If you don't feel this way, you're not happy like this, and you want some help, some advice, even a prayer, then give our hotline number a call now. There are a team of pastors waiting to take your call. Tonight's guest is a young man, Jay Williams, who has his story to tell on dating, right? Dating using social media. Let's meet him now.
It's pushing me for the rest of the week, so it's like a boost.
Things were really tight.
Today, the way I see myself is completely different.
Jay, welcome to the program.
Happy to be here.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
So you've got your own story to tell, right?
Yes.
Now, can I ask, first of all, how old are you?
I'm 22.
22, so still young, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, by the time you were at school, I'm sure, did you have a mobile phone at school?
Yeah, definitely.
You did?
Yeah.
Because in my day, which makes me sound really old, we didn't even have those things, right?
Oh, wow.
So you had mobile phones in class, right? Or should I say you're allowed to take them to school?
Yes, yeah.
So this whole dating thing, you didn't know, or did you ever have the experience of doing it the old-fashioned way?
No, because to me that was the way. So I didn't know any different. That's just what I was introduced to. So I thought to myself, this is normal.
So everyone was going around, probably your friends, right? Were online, texting one another, sending messages. And was that how things were for you as well? I mean, not approaching someone that you liked?
That was the main way of communicating, yes. I mean, initially you would approach the person to get the number, and then that's how it would start. Or sometimes it happens through a phone call. I had an incident where I met a girl over the phone. I've never seen her yet, but her friend handed me the phone,
right,
and I started speaking to the girl.
So
That was his ex. And he was somewhat finished with her. And
really?
He said, you know what, you can speak to her if you want, it's fine.
And she was willing to?
She was willing.
She knew that you were his friend?
I believe so. Yeah, if I can remember rightly, yes. Yes, and we started speaking, and it led to the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and we continued speaking every day, sometimes late night conversations, hours to do 3, 4 hours going into the morning.
So instead of having the little black book, which probably you never heard of, or probably seen in films, right?
Yes.
Instead of that little black book, there's the phone number. Can I have your Facebook account?
That was the book, the phone book on the phone.
Right.
That's the only book that we needed.
And it had a list of
contacts.
Of contacts,
yes.
Different girls.
Different girls, yes.
And of course, you must have exchanged not only mobile numbers, but Facebook. I don't know, what else? Twitter?
Yes, there's Facebook. At the time, MySpace was quite big.
Right.
So MySpace I was using as well. Facebook and MySpace were the main.
So I remember when everyone had a MySpace account.
Yes.
And I wasn't into MySpace. I never had an account, but wasn't that to do with music?
It was. Actually, I was doing it for my music, but when you see a pretty face, and you just want to get to know the person, though it's for music, the purpose is kind of divided. So you just think, let me speak to the person. Why not?
So tell us about your adventures then.
Okay. I'll go into what I just spoke about just now, the incident with the girl on the phone. So I met her over the phone, and a few days down the line, we were really connected, you could say. We really liked each other a lot. We even expressed ourselves to one another, told each other about our past lives, really got deep. And I haven't met the girl yet. I haven't seen her.
This is just on the phone?
On the phone.
Right.
This is on the phone. And I have not yet seen her. So I didn't know what she looked like. She obviously described herself to me, and I tried to paint a mental picture of that. And
so from that voice, which sounded sweet and nice,
very,
you made this image of her in your mind.
You know, this perfect woman,
right?
If I could say. And it went into, I believe, a month and a half still without seeing her.
Okay.
And then the time finally came.
Now, think a month and a half of not seeing someone. You think, okay, we're getting to speak and know one another over the phone, depending on what you're saying, what you're asking questions about, right?
Right.
But you think, you know, I'm gonna like this girl when I eventually meet her.
I had high hopes, high expectations. So I then met her. I remember it was at school. I told all my friends about it. I was excited. I even brought a rose to school, right? I thought, let me do things right.
So it's a bit of old-fashioned.
Yeah, I put a bit of old school in there. Yes, right. And then I had the rose and I said, guys, she's coming today. I want everybody, I want the whole school, I want everyone to come with me. She brought her school with her. We all came to my school, met up. And there's a bunch of girls there. Didn't know who it was. And I said... You were hoping it was the prettiest one. I was hoping it was the prettiest one there. I said, who is so-and-so? She kind of emerged from the back and came to the front. Did your mouth drop? I was devastated. In a good way or a bad way? In the worst way. Because I then thought, how am I going to... I tried to run. I tried to even say it wasn't me. Like, I'm not Jay. It's someone else. And then I just gave her the rose and then I walked away. All my friends, I got it. They were completely... You know, guys, young guys at the time, were they laughing there and then? Well, to be honest, they didn't because they respected me quite a bit. So they kind of kept what they had to themselves. My closest friends will make a comment. The worst thing is when I met her, I thought, this is not going to continue no more. She's not what I thought. She was taller than me. Everything was gone wrong. Everything. You didn't find her attractive in any way? Not at all. It was just that voice. It was the voice. You heard for a month. For a month. Right. And I ended it that same day on the phone, telling her the truth. I said, look, I thought you was going to look different. Did you call her or did you text her? I think she called me. Either one or the other. She called me or I called her. And I said to her, look, I'm going to be honest with you. I thought he's going to look completely different. So I don't want to continue to lead us on. But did you say it in those words? Or did you say... I think you just answered that question, right? No, not exactly those words entirely. But I said to her, she even started to cry on the phone. She's like, what did I do wrong? I was like, to be honest, I don't like the way you look. I really don't. So you're blatant and upfront. I told her straight. And it ended there. From that day on, she tried to text me a couple of days later. I just never replied. So that was one example. Right. Were there any others? There were others via Facebook. I would receive a friend request from a random girl. She was pretty, so I thought, okay, let me accept. I started talking to her. Was this afterwards? This was afterwards. Yes. Now, this random request that came through, this picture that could have been anyone. It could have been a guy, right? It's true. It could have been a paedophile in China. I don't know, something like that. But you still accepted it? I still accepted it. It was a pretty picture, so I thought, why not? Why wouldn't I accept at the time? So we then started to speak. Messages every other day. And it was going well. It was going well. Didn't really know much about her, as deep as the last one. But from what I knew, I kind of liked it. So this one, I can't remember how it really panned out. I just remember seeing her arrive at my school and I think we spoke for a bit and that was it. So you actually met her? I actually met her, yes. Right. And then we spoke for a bit. I think we decided to stay friends. I can't remember why I made that decision, but it began to fade and then we stopped messaging after a while. So, and were there any other social media outlets that you used as well, apart from Facebook? MySpace and Facebook were the main ones at the time. Everything else was via phone, texting, phone calls, right, things like that. And you know, how much can you know about someone via Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever the case may be? To be honest, there's a lot you could know what the page tells you, but you never know the truth. Like a lot of incidences, and MySpace especially, girls will say they're older than they are. In the MySpace, they say they're 18, but really they're 15. Right. They'll try to appear older. They'll put pictures of their best pictures with the most makeup on, just to make them look really mature. But then in person, they're very young. So you can know a lot, but you don't know if it's the truth until you meet the person. That's the problem with these online sites, because they have all the information, date of birth, where they grew up, their background, their likes, their interests. Facebook has a lot of that. Favorite movies, favorite books. But you only know that until you meet the person. So were you interested in the favorite movies and the favorite books? I was. Were you? I was, yes. Because, you know, when young people meet up or get together on Facebook, they're just interested in one thing, right? As you said, you looked for the looks,
the selfies and you know,
Right,
if
yes.
they're in their underwear, and then you'd accept them.
That's pretty much it.
You know, were you after one thing?
I was.
Or were you after a serious relationship?
I was. The only time, there was one girl I can remember who I thought was really extremely beautiful. So I thought to myself, I could actually be in a relationship with this person. That was the one person. Everybody else was only for one thing.
Right. Now, did you ever meet any girl to have sex with them?
Yes.
You had to think about that one.
I had to, because there were numerous occasions where it went wrong.
But your intention was to have
Yes.
sex with that girl?
Yes. It was
Right.
the conversation was all about that. It was via text. Another one I met over the phone, actually. And we were texting about that thing, just that thing, when we were going to do it, and so on and so forth.
That was it?
That was the only.
That was our intention, not to get to know one another?
Not at all.
But just to meet up?
That was, I could say that was just a play. You know, I would act as if I want to get to know her. I'll ask a few questions about herself, just to make it seem like I care, but I only had one thing on my mind.
Right. And obviously she had one thing on her mind as well?
Yeah.
Now, did you actually go and have sex with her?
No, because I lost the number.
Right.
That's what happened. But the other occasion...
Maybe it's a good thing that you lost her number, because who knows what could have happened.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
But you said you did have sex with someone.
Yes. There was one occasion where it actually did all pan out.
Right.
Yeah.
In all of this, were you happy?
Sincerely, no. And why do I say that? Because it was like I was trying to fulfill an emptiness in me that was just there. And I thought by having all this attention, having someone to talk to at night, long night phone calls, so that I don't have to think about my problem so much, it seemed as though it was going away.
Yeah.
But then I wake up in the morning and it's still there.
Briefly tell us about the problems you were going through.
I had a lot of family problems at the time. Not everybody was getting along. Nobody was really close in my house.
Yeah.
So it just led to a lot of stress.
When you say family, who was that? Your mum?
I said, yeah, immediate family, mum, brothers, everyone within my household. Everybody had their own separate lives.
Okay.
Everyone went to their own rooms, and that was it basically. There was no real bond there.
Did you have you said you have a brother, sister?
Yeah, three brothers.
Three brothers.
Three
and you weren't
brothers, yes.
close with any of them?
I wasn't.
You didn't talk about brothers, you know, what brothers would talk about, you know, girls and, you know, I don't know, cars or...
Not really. I mean, we had game consoles that we used to play together every now and then. Apart from that, we had not much in common.
Yeah.
I mean, there were attempts to speak, but it just...
So when we go to your room, obviously you feel lonely, there was no bond, there was no connection there. So you would look for friendship, you look for attention.
Yeah, that's it.
Online.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So before we go to a break, maybe you are listening to Jay's story and you can relate to this. Maybe you are feeling alone for whatever reason and you've turned online to your Facebook account, to the World Wide Web, the internet, with millions of people your age online looking, whether it's intentionally looking to have sex with someone or even innocently looking for friendships. But deep down, you know, you are empty. You are lonely. The issue is a lot deeper than what you think it is. It's not just to have a friendship, just get to know people, but maybe you are having family problems. Maybe you are lonely. Maybe it's something deeper than this. And if you can recognize that, because maybe some people, they don't recognize this. They hide the fact that, you know, they are alone and everything's okay. They think everything's okay, and they're looking for a solution online. So if you feel this way, then give our number a call, all right? Because you're gonna hear after the break how Jay's life panned out. You're actually gonna hear the worst moment of his life in all of this and how he sought help. So join us after the break where we'll find out more of Jay's story.
I get motivated to kickstart life again. that motivation that just pushed me for the rest of the week. So it's like a boost.
It gave me that hope. You know, it gave me something to look forward to.
I felt welcomed. The environment it's hard to explain, but I felt at peace. It's home.
Sometimes, in order for you to get to the place that you want to be, it's important just to take that little step.
They didn't judge me from what background I came from. I felt like I belonged.
One of the greatest things is, you know, you get to meet new people. Maybe, hopefully, I might get to see you there.
As a man, I understand the struggles men like me go through. They need to be strong always and not to show any weakness, even though it's there. To be a leader to our family, to our wife and kids, when we really wish someone else would show us the way. To choose what is right in a world of wrongs. To admit to our mistakes when our egos don't want us to be exposed. To learn to be a man when we're still only a boy inside. Being a man is not easy. But hard is also a part of being a man. We don't like anything easy. We want challenges. We want to prove that we can do it. That we are bigger than the problems staring us in the face. That's why we go to the moon, we climb the Everest, we sail around the world, and build fast cars. We like the feeling of accomplishment. And please don't ever tell us it can't be done. We will die trying. Being a man is not easy, but we wouldn't have it any other way. And yet, the true conquest of a man is not measured by his money, power, or fame. His greatest achievement is to overcome himself.
Many people struggle to believe in true love. To some, love is but a fairy tale, a myth, a movie. All couples have differences, but what happens when those differences push them apart? When the spark in the relationship dies down, what happens next? Introducing The Therapy of Love, a weekly session that is open for anyone who is searching for love. Our aim is to assist singles and couples in finding love and a lifetime of happiness together. We provide advice and helpful sessions for anyone searching for true love. Don't settle for an unhappy relationship. Take charge of your love life, build up your confidence and find the right person for you. Saturday, 7 p.m, only at the Rainbow Theatre. For more information call 020 7686 6000 or visit our website thetherapyoflove.com.
Hello and welcome back to Finding Answers. Tonight the topic is modern technology. Is dating a thing of the past? So as usual, I've been out and asked the general public a few questions. I've been asking them, is dating really a thing of the past?
You know, there's no stereotype anymore.
Protect yourself, sometimes you probably do.
It will heal, but it will always...
They're humans, they have the ability to use their initiative.
Find it difficult to just be happy in this life.
Hi, I'm Victoria Edgecombe, and tonight on Finding Answers, we're talking about modern technology and whether it has a negative impact on relationships. So I've been out and about and asked the general public, do you think modern technology has a negative impact on relationships, and is dating a thing of the past?
Yes. I'm kind of the wrong person to ask about that. I don't even have a mobile phone, so... But I think so. I think that everything's so impersonal now due to pick up a phone or a device of some description. You can send out what you want. You can be who you want. There's no... It's all anonymous, pretty much. You can sell anything you want to someone and they pretty much have no reason not to believe you, don't they? But whereas face-to-face, it's different. You can't... You can, of course, depending on how good at lying you are. But you can't portray something because feelings in person are different, aren't they? As opposed to just words on a screen. It's not the same.
It's made it more complicated, I think. More complicated. In what way? I think it's because people have become more controlling because of the technology and more aware.
I would hope that technology did help like solidify a relationship, because I mean it's a lot of talking, it's a lot of discussing. You get to know a person emotionally before like obviously you see or kiss or anything. So I think it can really have a positive impact, but at the same time I feel because it gives so much communication possibilities that like trust issues start to arise and control issues, because when was this last person seen at? Oh my God, why didn't I get a response back? That's it. Like you can become really paranoid, and I think it can develop your insecurities. But then it really depends what kind of person you are, because if you're totally fine, you're totally fine. And if you don't like texting, you don't really do it. So, but I think generally like the 90s generation, yeah, it did affect a little bit, but maybe in a good way, maybe in a negative way, who knows?
So, what's your opinion on it? Right? You've heard what some people had to say about, you know, online dating and, you know, dating today with modern technology. If you have an opinion, then please, you can give us a call or you can send in your email, right? Victoria, the general consent, did you interview others as well? Any more people?
No, that was it. I think we had about 4 or 5 people we asked that question, yeah.
And, you know, was it the consensus, was it more or less the same thing, or were there people saying, look, it's a good thing?
Only the one woman at the end believed it was a good thing because she said it can help to solidify a relationship. So I think what she was saying was you can do the usual things, going out on a date with people or meeting up with groups of girls and boys and the usual, but actually once you've separated for the evening, then you can maybe say, oh, I had a really nice night, you know, you can text and then arrange extra dates. Mm-hmm. So she was sort of saying, yeah, it can help solidify. But then again, she did mention that it can make you very paranoid because, for example, if somebody says, oh, I can't see you on Saturday night, I'm not feeling very well, and then you check your Facebook and there's photos of them out with their friends, then that's when problems start to, right? Yeah.
So I don't know if you have a positive story to tell. Maybe there are people out there that through social media, they have, you know, met their future spouse and things worked out okay. Maybe you have a positive story to tell, so we'd like to hear from you as well, okay? So let's go back now to Jay, who's going to continue his story. So Jay, hi. You were saying before the break that you weren't happy at all.
No.
Right.
I wasn't.
Now, there was the worst moment in all of this that happened to you. What actually happened?
Yes, the worst moment for me, I was in somewhat of a relationship and it was based on phone calls. Right. Because she lived distant from me. Mm-hmm. So we couldn't see each other that often, to be fair. So we had to make do with texting and phone calls literally every night.
What was the distance?
The distance was, she was living in East London. Okay. I believe at the time.
So it's not far, it's not like outside
far.
London.
Yeah, no, not far.
Yeah.
But, you know, for young people, that's already a distance as it is.
Yeah.
So we then met up, finally, after a good while, and we did what we needed to do.
Which was to have sex.
Which was to have sex.
Right.
And I then later on, 2 weeks later, rather, I found out that I contracted an STI from this person. That was the worst moment because I was very paranoid with these things. I always thought the worst. So I thought to myself, my gosh, it could spread, it could do this, it could do that. My life may be in danger for all I know.
You're paranoid of catching something?
Yes, or what it could do to me.
Right, okay.
Right, what it could do. I didn't know what it was. I hadn't gone to the clinic yet, so I didn't know how bad it was.
So you didn't think of wearing protection? You didn't think that you could get this girl pregnant?
Not at all.
Right.
I was in the heat of the moment. Actually, to be fair, I did, but she was very eager not to.
Right.
So this was completely in the moment, the heat of the moment. That wasn't really on my mind. So that was probably the most scariest part of all.
So when you found out you caught this disease, how did you feel? What did you do?
I completely cut everything with this girl. I didn't even give her a reason. As I can remember, I didn't even tell her, I didn't explain to her why. I just stopped calling her, stopped receiving her calls, stopped replying to her texts.
I'm sure she must have known that she had something as well, right?
I'm pretty sure.
So,
yeah.
Did you get yourself checked out? What happened?
I did, and it was, I did what I needed to do. It was all clear afterwards. But during the time of it, I was just very paranoid. And that led me to living quite recklessly. Because I thought to myself, you know what, if it is that bad, I need to do everything I can do while I can. And
so you would do what?
I would just live really, I would be more reckless in life as a whole. I would do a lot more things that I did in my past that I did let go of, but I started to do more. I was very revengeful.
So what things would you do?
I was very revengeful against women as well. Like I would think to myself, like I should pass this on. Like why should I receive this? I had this mentality that they should, or whoever I should be with, should suffer, as I had to suffer.
So normally women would do that, right?
Yes.
Right, we see it in films, right? She gets dumped or she contracts a disease and then she's gonna start sleeping around with men. Now, the reverse happened with you. You decided that I'm gonna live recklessly, and did you sleep with other girls?
I didn't actually. It's like my conscience wouldn't allow me.
Right.
The intention was there, but I couldn't go through with it.
You were angry
at
that time, but
yeah, it was a temporary anger, but I didn't really act upon it as much.
But you still had that you said, that loneliness, that emptiness inside.
Yeah, because this person I was talking to for quite a while, and she used to listen to everything I used to go through, used to speak about a lot. So her being removed from my life was just, it's like I was back to square one again.
Yeah.
I didn't have any outlet anymore.
Today, your life has completely changed.
Completely.
Your outlook on things have changed,
yes,
right?
Definitely.
How did you get the help?
I was actually invited by someone I didn't know, a stranger, basically on the street, to the church, and they told me about how lives have changed and how people see differences in themselves by applying what they learn. They gave me a leaflet. I wasn't really that bothered, to be honest. I just took it to be polite. I was walking by, I thought, okay. But then I gave it a read on my way home, I believe, and I saw a brief testimony of somebody who actually changed their lives. So I thought, okay, let me give it a go. Why not? I have nothing to lose. So then I went, and it was a completely different experience. A lot of positivity around me, stuff I'm not really accustomed to. And that kind of drew me in. So from that day on, I just kept on giving it a try, keep coming back. And from then I've never left.
So when you went along to that church, the information that you received, what helped you? Because did they deal with the family issues? Did they deal with the relationship issues? What was it?
It was more within myself, because that was the core of it. My family would change if I would change. My life would change if I would change.
Right.
So that was pretty much the message that was being put across to me. If I do what is right, I'm going to see a right result.
So what did you do to change you?
I had to cut all ties first with the girls.
Right.
I had to stop living that kind of way. I had to really grow respect for them as I should have.
Because what you did proved that it wasn't the right way of going about things. So meeting someone just like that and realizing they're not really who you thought they were, contracting an STI, right?
Yes.
So the advice that they said, it kind of made sense.
It did.
Let me change things around. Let me change myself first.
Yeah.
And How long afterwards, after applying this information, did you start seeing changes in you?
Initially, it wasn't easy. I'm not gonna lie and say it was done overnight. It was a process because it was a lifestyle I was living for a while. So I had to really dig deep in myself and find that willpower to change.
Yeah.
So I still receiving messages from girls. I still receiving inboxes and so on and so forth. So I had to really resist myself. So it was a good, like I say, good half a year, good 6 months down the line that I really started to see changes in myself.
Yeah.
Like my desires to go back to that type of life just wasn't there. I didn't really want to do it anymore. So that kind of led to me changing altogether.
How is Jay today?
Now Jay is completely different. My mindset is completely different to how it was before. I actually have a respect for women now. How I used to treat them in the past will never reoccur today. I've understood the importance of a relationship and really strive to find the best way to go about it for future reference. Not the same past mistakes that I made, because clearly they didn't work out for me. So I'm not gonna go back to that same way of doing things. So it's really opened my mind to a lot of things. And now my outlook towards things is completely different.
Good. Well, thank you for joining us and sharing your story, Jay.
You're welcome, no problem.
No, Jay is in a good place today, right? But maybe you are not. So if you like some help, please give us a call. We have advice for you. We have a prayer, if you like a prayer for that, as Jay received prayer and advice as well. Okay, we're gonna go for a quick break. We're back with Pastor Roland, who's gonna be sharing some information with us.
As you've heard it before, the opposites attract, right? We are very different from each other, and those differences were what attracted us to each other in the first place. You know, you don't need more of what you have. You want something new, what you don't have. But that was the problem, because if she challenged me or wanted something that I didn't want, that was it. I would put my foot down and say, no, it's not going to be like that. It's going to be my way. And in order to punish her, I would give her this silent treatment.
That will kill me, because I know I like to talk.
Pessimism, insecurity, afraid of taking risks, doubts, inability, lack of confidence, professional failures, complexes, lack of qualifications, the fear of losing your job. These and other thoughts can lead you to a miserable life. Every Monday, we hold a motivational seminar that can help you break through financially, especially at 7:30 p.m, but also at 7 a.m, 10 a.m, and 3 p.m. at all UCKG help centres. For more information, call 020 7686 6000 or visit our website uckg.org.
Welcome back to Finding Answers. So to wrap up tonight's topic, let's have a look at this YouTube video.
More and more people are using social media to find love. But as helpful as it can be in establishing a relationship, social media can also open up a can of unforeseen stressors. Dr. Scott B. is a clinical psychologist at Cleveland Clinic. He says when social media and social lives start to mix, it can create jealousy.
Imagine starting a dating relationship and you find out the guy that you're involved with has 300 female friends. I mean, it creates a whole new brand of stress. You have all this competition that you might not have known about before, might not have existed before.
Getting a friend request from your ex will also cause trouble in paradise, as will finding revealing information or photos on your partner's wall. Dr. B says 15 or 20 years ago, it was much easier to keep things away from the new person you're dating. These days, not so much.
We weren't built this way. We weren't built to, think about the person we're dating having so many other social contacts and friends that might compete with us. We like that feeling of exclusivity, that we're the one that matters, first and foremost.
Dr. B says people will get more accustomed to social media and dating over time, which will hopefully decrease tension in the dating world.
So my advice to you is, wrapping up, be careful what you do online, right? You heard Jay's story. Be careful, because not everyone appears who they say they are, all right? Best to do it the old-fashioned way. Okay, so with me tonight I have Pastor Roland. Hi, Pastor.
Hi, Pastor.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, and you?
So we are going to be announcing, as promised, the winner of the 2 tickets for the Love School, right? We have a Love School event coming up at the SSC Arena.
Soon, on the 28th.
The 28th, not long to go.
No.
And we announced to you that we would give 2 tickets away for free for someone who would send in their information or email saying why they would like to go to the event. And we have a winner, don't we?
We do have this winner. She sent us an email. She explained why she should receive these tickets. And it was well said.
Yeah?
She needs this help. And actually some people need as well this help. Can I say her name already?
Yes, of course.
And the tickets goes to Sandra Ampere. I think Ampere or Empire, but Sandra is the one that won the 2 tickets.
Okay, so Sandra, well done. We're going to see you at Wembley Arena for the Love School. Now, the Love School, it helped many people last year, right? It was a big event. You weren't there at the first one, but you'll be there at the second, right?
I will indeed be there. I was looking for it last year. I couldn't make it. I was in the other country overseas, but I'm already counting down the days so that I can stand there, because we are going to teach people to love intelligently, because that is exactly what people need to do and apply. And social and network here, relationships, doesn't actually, it's a solid way to find a person.
Yeah.
Because, we shouldn't trust what is the informations that are there. And once that we put the mind above heart, what we indeed teach, a person end up putting emotions aside and thinking proper in the decisions to make and how to know a person. Dating in the past was that, to know the person properly. Nowadays the informations are there, and they just think about what is written and take decisions based on what a person made a comment or sent a text. And in the end, relationships are messed up nowadays.
Now, imagine if you get, I don't know if you ever received emails from friends or work colleagues, it's just like a straight statement, but you're still unsure about what they want, right?
It's true.
That happens a lot. So you don't know what's going on, you assume what they've said there, okay, let me do this, and then you find out later on it's not exactly what they want or intended to say. Now imagine with relationships, right? I don't think it's working out. Whatever comment is said through a text, through an email, and it involves the heart as well, we don't tend to use our mind when it comes to our relationship. Jay didn't. He used his loins, right? His manly desire to sleep with the girl. And you heard about the consequences of his actions. So the Love School is going to be about using this big muscle that sometimes we don't use when it comes to our love life. You're going to learn to love intelligently, right?
It's true, and it's exactly what you need. If you want more information, call us 020-7686-6300. That is exactly the number for you to have more information that people are now qualified to give the time, the address and everything of what is needed.
So we are going to go now for the prayer. Pastor Roland will be praying for people like Jay, and maybe you are going through this problem now. Jay received the help he needed. Pastor Roland, can you tell us a bit about how the spiritual work, the prayer, can help someone who is going through what Jay used to go through.
Some people, they have a fear inside of them, right? That negativity, that things will go wrong. They don't put their trust in the positive way. They believe that things are not going to work. And once that we connect ourselves to God, we connect ourselves with what is positive. And we pray so that this energy, this power, our God, the faith that we believe and actually you have inside of you may be activated and bring then results to your life. The prayer can make it. Yeah. The prayer can make you to be well from inside out, not just expecting the things to change outside, but you from inside to receive this positivity, this power, and then eventually see the things changing.
So if you feel lonely, you feel as though you've lost all hope, and you've been using modern technology to find someone, to feel that emptiness, that space inside of you. So we're going to pray now for you. Get your glass of water ready. It's time for the prayer.
Prepare now for the moment of prayer. If you would like a prayer concerning your financial life, send your name and prayer request to prayer@findinganswers.tv.
Our Lord and our Father, in the name of Jesus we come to you exactly with this request, for you to bring your power inside of us. There are many people that praying with us in this moment, they just don't know what to do, what the next step must be, and they need your help, my God. I am sure that you can show the way, that you can strengthen this person, and that you can help beyond what human being can, beyond the advices we can give. Only you and you alone knows what this person is feeling inside in this moment. I ask you, my Lord, to consecrate this water, and once this person drinks from it, let your power come inside and bring peace, bring in an assurance that things will be different from today. And even though we finish the prayer, let this power remain inside of this person so that she can keep going and find the way out of this situation. I bless this water and I present all in your hands. And those who believe, you may drink from it.
So I believe the prayer has indeed worked for you. All right? As we said, if you'd like to get more information, please give us a call. Someone will be able to give you some more advice if you wish. Now, just before we go, we have today's love myth. It says, if I put my guard down, I will only get hurt. Now, how would I answer that? I would say, the reason why you're putting a guard up is probably because you got hurt in the past, right?
It's true.
You know, you're so devastated with how you were treated, how people mistreated you, that now you've put a guard up. Really, if you used your intelligence, you wouldn't be in maybe the mess you are in now. Maybe not for your own fault, but you wouldn't need to protect yourself because, as we said in the beginning, if you did things the old-fashioned way, right?
They would learn how to act. I was thinking about that, and the fact is, many couples, they raise this guard and they defend themselves, like with one thing, like saying, I'm not gonna talk to you. And they take it for days. They don't talk for days with each other, but in the end of these days...
Even married couples, right?
Yes, how do they solve this conflict if not talking, with a dialogue?
Yeah.
So in the end of the day, that communication must exist, is where the intelligence would teach them that instead of passing days without solving that matter, and in the end having to sit down together to talk about it, why not to solve it at the first hand, at the first appearance of the problem?
Yeah. So you don't need to put up defenses, right? You just need to be intelligent in your thinking and also in your actions. Well, that's Finding Answers for today. Join us again for another one, all right? Have a wonderful evening. God bless you.